now we're on the tab in your binder called awareness. And you heard me say it earlier in one of the other videos that a man that is not aware of what's going on the inside of him and what is going on around him on the outside is a sitting duck. He is he's the one that's going to get hustled. He's the one that's going to get played. He's the one that's going to continue finding himself suffering and don't know the reason why. He's going to continually find himself having to rebuild from the ashes and don't know, like, man, how did I go from having everything on my goal sheet and then now I'm right back in the gutter again. He is the man that is unaware. He is the man that is unaware of the lies that he believes, the perspectives that are wrong. He is the man that is unaware of how he got to the place that he's at. He's the man that's unaware of how to get to where he's wanting to go. And so, like, this is one of the super important exercises, training exercises to train you to be the man that is aware, that is alert, that is conscious of his life, of present, past, and going into the future. And so, like, if you're not willing to put into work on this particular thing, like, you're going to fail. You're going to fail because you're going to be unaware. And so let's go through them. So you can get that sheet out, and I'm going to just go through it with you. So follow it as we go. And like I said, if you have any questions when it comes to this, get with your house man, get with any of these guys that's been with us for any amount of time, and they will tell you the worth of this and how it has changed the way that they see life, the way that they, it's a game changer. It is a game changer. It is a cheat code. It is the, and you're crazy if you choose not to do it. If you're crazy if you choose not to put in the little bit of effort that it takes to become aware so that you can move. A soldier that is not aware that it's in a war is the soldier that they put in a body bag and send back home. We don't want you to be that one. We don't want you to be the one that the enemy continually snipes out because you don't know what's going on in you. You don't know what's going on around you. You don't know what the enemy's doing. You don't know what God's doing. You just a sitting duck waiting to get taken out again. So let's dig in. Let's put in the work. Let's go through it together. The Forge, and this is like, compatible or like what this is the Forge's step 10 if you know anything about steps. Your daily moral inventory. It's the mirror. It's you looking at yourself and I put and we asked a lot of questions, and that's what most of this is questions, because a man's got to learn to ask the right questions. In Proverbs it says, any man that's the first to tell his story seems right until someone comes along and asks him the right questions. That's when he realizes, like, man, it wasn't right. I didn't think about that. Well, that's why we do this. It's questions. It's not a bunch of information that I'm giving you. It's me asking you questions and you having to answer them, and then you realize things. And you learn to ask them yourself. So let's dig in. Write down how you feel right now about having to take the time and put in the effort to actually do this. To grow as a man. And whatever feeling that you feel right now, because I ain't gonna lie, a lot of times whenever I'm going to do this, like, man, I don't feel like doing this. I feel like doing something else, or I don't feel like doing this. Well then, or I may be at times like, yeah, I'm ready to dig in. I'm ready to do this. But I need to look at that. How am I feeling about doing this? And if I'm in a attitude towards this that I don't want to do it, well, is this feeling, is it going to lead me to change and success, or is it going to lead me to stagnation and failure? Well, if I obey this feeling that's on the inside of me that don't want to do it, well, then we already know it's going to lead me to stagnation and to failure. But if I cultivate that attitude and I press through that and say, you know what, even though I don't feel like doing this, I'm still going to do it, well, then that's going to lead me into having true change and to be able to walk in success. But I got to make the trade. I got to make the choice, and then I'm going to get whatever I trade in this trade. Feel me? And I always start out with a prayer. Father, expose anything that is sabotaging my life. And I mean it when you pray it. Father, expose anything that's sabotaging my life. Reveal yourself. Reveal your truth to me. Help me see what you want me to see and to hear and to know what you're speaking to me in this. Like this is something, this training exercise is something that we invite God into. We invite our Father into. We invite our Savior, the one that has good plans for us, into. The one that wants to keep us safe and secure. We invite Him into this thing with us. We're not trying to do this alone. And we got guys in the house, your house man on your floor, guys that's been with us for a while. Like they will jump off in this thing with you. They're always, they love jumping off in this with other guys because they know the benefit of doing this and training this way as a man. And so first we're going to look over plan A. And we're going to look at today, either I look to God or to people and things for these. So basically what that means is I either look to God to get me to plan A or the Creator, or I depended and looked on created things trying to get me there. And we've done that most of our life. We want somebody else to get it for us, to get it to us. We're looking for people, places, and things to get us to plan A, God's plan A for our life instead of God. And that's a habit. And so we need to start looking at our daily life and realize, and then, my aliveness, me wanting to feel alive. Did I go to created things today for that? Or did I, people, places, and things? Or did I try to get that from God? God, I want to feel alive in you. I want to be connected to the life giver today. Like, where did I try to get that from? And anytime that felt threatened, like, how did I react today? My significance. Did I try to find my significance, my worth, and my purpose in people, places, and things, trying to get that from them, depending on them for that? Or did I look to God, my Creator, not the created, the Creator for my significance, for my worth, for my purpose today? And any time today when that felt threatened, how did I react? You start realizing. What about my inner security? My peace, being at rest on the inside. Where did I look to for that? To try to feel peace on the inside? Did I look to people, places, and things, created things trying to get peace? Or did I look to my Creator, the source of peace, and say, God, help me to walk in your peace today. Help me to have a rest in my heart. And whenever that was threatened today, how did I react? When my peace was threatened, when somebody, how did I react whenever that happened today? What about my material security? Because that's part of security too, is like the outward security. Money, possessions, my things. Where did I look to that today? Was I trying to manipulate and hustle and get that, or did I look to God for that today? And if I felt that was threatened today in any way, shape, or form, how did I react? Think about it. And then lastly, in plan A, my belonging. And then that belonging is love, it's intimacy. It's where did I look for that today? Did I look to people, places, and things to try to belong? Because if I did, I probably ended up performing. I probably ended up embellishing some stories. I probably ended up because if I felt that was threatened, I act a certain way to make sure I can keep it, to where I can get it and keep it. Same way with all these things. Or did I look to God as my source and say, God, help me to walk in a sense of belonging today. That I know that you love me. That I know that there's intimacy there and that you're growing relationships that have intimacy. Did I look to the Creator or did I look to the created? And if any of those right there, the belonging, love, and intimacy, if I felt threatened, how did I react today? Because we've got to start transitioning and being aware of where I'm looking at to get what only God can give me. Because we've looked in the wrong places for way too long already. And we keep falling for the bait that they're going to give us those things when they never have and they never will be able to. But we got to start getting aware when that gets off. And that's why we do this part and we look over plan A and see where was my source for that today. Each one of them. And how did I react when those things felt threatened when I was trusting in the wrong source for them? How did I react to that? What behaviors did I show in that? You're going to start seeing some things. I promise you. So first, let's look at others. We're looking outwardly now. We're looking at like the life that happened around us, and that could be in any of our relationships. My relationship with a partner, relationship with a spouse, relationship with an ex-spouse partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, or girlfriend. Looking at my relationship with my kids, relationships with co-workers, bosses, guys in the house, at the forge, my roommate, my church relationships, like any of them, friendships, looking at outwardly in my relation to others. Like now I'm starting to pay attention of how people move around me in relation to me. Did I arouse jealousy or suspicion in someone today? Like, think about it. Did someone seem like they were jealous of me or like they were suspicious? They didn't trust me for some reason today. I need to start paying attention. And I'm not talking about like, where I walk around, sketched out, suspicious of everybody, thinking everybody's, I'm talking about paying attention to facts, to cues, and how they relate to how I'm moving. If there was somebody in my life today in any of these areas that seemed like they had suspicion or jealousy, like, is there something that I did that could have triggered that in them? And I really need to look at that. Like, did I move, speak, act, have an attitude in such a way that would have maybe brought that up in someone? And I need to be honest about it. I need to really look at how I moved. Or if I didn't, like, was it something that, what was the root of why they acted that way? Maybe they were going through something and they just took it out on me and it was an opportunity for me to, help them. Maybe, they're going through something in their marriage. Maybe, there's a million, everybody's struggling around us with their own personal stuff, and a lot of times that bleeds out onto others. But I need to make sure that I didn't move in such a way to bring these things up. And if I did, I need to make it right. But if I didn't, then I need to position myself on the inside to where I don't take it personal, to where I can still either like put a boundary up and put some distance between me and them, or I can be someone that can help them. What's the next one? Did I arouse anger, resentment, or offense in someone today? Like, I need to think about it. Like, did it pop off between me and somebody? Was it like tension between me and somebody? And you could tell it was like, if so, like, did I have a part to play in that? Did I have an attitude? Was I saying or moving in a way that would have made somebody angry? That would have offended someone? Did I make a little slick-sided comment? Was I clowning too much with them? Was I joking on them too bad? Did I say something that could have hurt their feelings, that wasn't considerate of where they were at? Like, I need to think about that because I've moved like that my whole life, and then now and that is like a little boy. That's like a teenager. And I want to move as a man to where I am intentional in the things I say and the things that I do. And if so, why did I do it? Like, if I did do those things, why did I do what I was doing? I need to start finding the root of why I do what I do if I, in fact, did something to arouse this stuff in people. And if I didn't do anything, like, what was the root of why they thought that? They may just be going through something. They may be angry at the boss and then come to take it out on me. Well, I need to learn how to start navigating that. But first I need to make sure my side of the road is clean. That I didn't, and if it's not, why am I moving that way? And then I need to make it right. Did I harm someone by my words, my actions, or the lack thereof? A lot of times, like, I said something I should not have said, and then sometimes I hurt people by I didn't say what I should have said. Well, did I do that today? Did I hurt somebody by something I said or by not saying something I should have? And if so, then why did I do that? Like, what was going on the inside of me for me to do or not do what I was supposed to have done? You need to think on that. What's another one? Do I owe someone an amends? What can I do to make right what I have done? And I need to think about this stuff. Like, if I did something to do any of these things, do I owe them an amends? Do I need to go to them and take responsibility for it and then say, what can I do to make it right? I take ownership of what I did. I take ownership of affecting you in a negative way. I take ownership of that. And I can see why I was doing it, but it still don't justify me doing it. How can I make it right? You need to write that person down. And you need to do the deal. You need to go make an amends tomorrow or call them today or whatever it's going to take. The next one, what good was given to me today or this week or this weekend? And that means what in word, in deed, in substance, what good spiritually was done for you? How, was there any grace given to you? Was there any mercy given to you? Was there any blessings given to you? Was there any kind words given to you? You need to think about that. What good was given to me today, this week, this weekend? And you need to write that down. The next question, did I let that experience of that good thing motivate me, inspire me towards making more action in my life in this process? Giving, like something good was done toward me, so I'm going to do something good towards others. Or did I look at it through just this taker mindset? Because a taker mindset never really is grateful for good things that are extended to them, because they either feel like it's obligated to them, they're entitled to it, and it's just a taker mindset. So it's us getting out, becoming aware of when good things happen, to have gratitude for it and to let that motivate us and inspire us instead of just thinking that we deserve it and we take it and we expect it and people ought to do that. I heard a dude say, if we got what we deserved, we'd all be in hell right now. If we got what we deserved. So any good that we got that comes to us, it is a gift. Can you see the gift and let it motivate you and inspire you to be a gift to other people? Write it down. Who or where did it come from, and how did I show gratitude because of it? Where did that goodness come from? And how can I show gratitude? That don't make you weak to show gratitude. That makes you a man. A man can show gratitude without feeling weak. If something is done for me, I can tell you how much I appreciate it, and there is no weakness in that. That's how a man moves. So, where did it come from, and how did you or how can you show that you're grateful? What good did I give to another today? In word and deed and substance, spiritually, giving grace, giving mercy, giving blessing. Did you see an opportunity? Did I see an opportunity to help, but didn't take it? And if so, why didn't I? So now it's looking like, man, what did I do for someone else today? And then writing those things down. Or what opportunities did I have to do good and I didn't take it? I need to start being aware of when I missed it and what's the reason I missed it. Why did I not take that opportunity to be a blessing? to be helpful, to help somebody else in their life. You got to start getting aware. All right, now's the time where we transition and we stop looking outwardly and we start looking inwardly. On the back page, page 2 of the awareness sheets. Inwardly, do I have any resentments with anyone, like anger towards them? And if so, like what is the real root of that? And you're going to find out, well, I'm angry at them because they blah, 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 blah. Well, then why does that make you so angry? Because it's telling you something about you. And it's not true. And you're going to start learning that. And you're going to get empowered to walk above these things. Do I have any resentments or anger with anyone? If so, what is the root of those feelings? Why did it make you so angry? Why are you so offended from it? What's it telling you about yourself that ain't true, that you're biting on and believing, and it's got you all worked up? Think on it. Did I see the offender as a person who obviously isn't well, and did I have compassion on him or her as I want God to show me and have compassion on me? Or do I want to see that person receive judgment? Do you want to, are you wanting them to see, you want to see judgment on him? I hope karma gets them. Well, what about if you want karma to get you? Do you want judgment to come on you for all the things that you've done, and that you're going to still be doing as you grow in this process? Or would you hope for mercy and forgiveness because you still are trying to work it out? Next question. Looking at all I have needed forgiveness of, did I give that person forgiveness? How can I be most useful to God in helping this person who I offended or either who offended me? And we got to have sense about it. If they want to fight us, I ain't finna go up there and, hey man, what's going on? Like, you need to give it room to cool down. You don't run up in a hot situation. Let it cool down, but then how can I be useful in this to like make this thing, to confront this situation and make it better? Did I consider how to effectively communicate to that person, or did I let fear or anger win in this situation? You know, part of becoming a man is learning how to navigate these conflicts, you know, these moments where it's tense, and learning how to overcome our fear to communicate, or learning how to overcome what makes us so angry to communicate, and learning how to start communicating in these situations. Next one. Do I have any worry or fear today? And if so, what is the root of that? And it's like really starting to pay attention to what's on the inside of you. Have I been worried all day? Am I full of anxiety and fear? And what is the root of that thing? Like what is the story in that fear or anxiety? Like what is it? Putting a face on it, like looking at it. Because we'll just run on fear all day until we start looking at like what is it actually, and putting it on paper. Putting that pen on paper. Thinking with a pen and paper. Like that's what we're doing. Becoming aware of what's going on the inside of us so that we can overcome these things. Do I have any guilt, shame, or regret today or this week if you're doing it once a week? And if so, what is the root of that shame? What is the root of that regret? What is it telling you about yourself? Like becoming aware, because we've lived so much of our life in shame and regret, we don't even put a face on it. I just don't feel right. I feel bad. I'm just down. We finna start putting some faces on this stuff. Finna start being aware of it. What's the next one? Were there any temptations I dealt with today? And if so, what is the root of that desire? Because at the core of a temptation is a desire. And at the core of that desire is usually something in that plan A that we're yearning for. And we just are putting a wrong that temptation puts a wrong address on a heart-worthy goal. I'm going to say that one more time. A temptation puts a wrong address on a worthy heart, a deep heart meant destination that we want to get to. Man, I want to have belonging in my heart. And what temptation does is puts the address at having sex with some chick at a motel that you just met on Facebook and social media, and she's going to give you an Uber ride over to her place or something. Well, that's a wrong address on a heartfelt desire that I want to belong and have a intimacy with someone that I'm going to do the rest of my life with. And we've got to start looking at, like, what is the root of that desire that temptation is playing off of. That's why we got to be aware. What's the next one? What things took up my thoughts today? Like, where was your thought life all day? Most of the time, we just let our thought life just run like wild. Like, we don't know what, it's just like, whatever comes in, we just let it be there. We have no awareness of, like, this is what's going on in my head. Where was your head at all day? What was you thinking about all day? What areas were you thinking on all day? Becoming aware of that so you can begin to navigate this to where you can start pointing it in the direction you want it to go in instead of it running you wherever it wants you to go. What took my thoughts up today? What is the root of these things getting all my attention? Why is this thing getting all your attention? Why is this person getting all your mental thoughts today? Write it down. Do I feel like quitting this process? If so, what is the root of that feeling? Like, have I felt like quitting this initiation, this ritual journey, this rite of passage into manhood? Like, and what would be making me want to quit something that is as worthy of me giving my life as this rite of passage into a true manhood, the manhood I yearn for? Like, you need to write what the root of that is, because we've got to face that. We've got to lean into that. We've got to deconstruct that and, like, see it for what it really is, so that we can get victory over this thing and conquer it, so that we can keep on this journey and on this process. What's the next one? One word to describe what I was like on the inside today. Like, what was that? One word to describe what you felt like on the inside today. Are you okay with that word being that? Or does it need to be something different? Got to be aware. What did I feed my soul today? We're feeding our soul every day. You know, like, what was your self-talk like? What was the music you was listening to? What did it feed your soul? What was the media and the TV and the movies? What was it feeding your soul? What was the people that you conversated with all day? What was they feeding you? You know, all these things. Being aware of what I'm putting in, and then I don't. If I'm not aware, I'm like, man, I don't know why I don't know why I feel like, you know, punching somebody. I don't know why I feel like rebelling. And then the whole time we're feeding our soul with the things that are fueling these attitudes on the inside of us. And we wonder why we keep failing. We got to start being aware of what we're feeding us, what we're feeding ourselves. And then what attitudes and perspectives did the things that I put in it, what did it feed it? What kind of attitude did that feed today? What kind of perspective of how you saw life? How did it feed that today? What perspective did you have? Now we're going to talk about behaviors. And all behaviors is how we react to the things that are going on the inside of us. And a lot of times it's hard for us to, you know, in the beginning, to put our finger on being aware of what's going on the inside of us. And so behaviors, if we can pick up on them sooner, if we can start becoming aware of our behaviors, and when we start behaving a certain way, acting a certain way, it'll help us put the brakes on to look inwardly to see what's fueling that, what's got its foot in the gas on that behavior that's bringing us to a place that's going to be bad. And so, and it's just overcompensations because something's either threatening what we feel like is plan A, or it's us hustling in our own strength without God directing us to try to get plan A from something that's created instead of the Creator. And then we start showing these behaviors. We start obsessing. And I'm going to just run through them. I'm not going to dig into them, but it's things for you to look at and start becoming aware of if you get into this behavior. Obsessing over a person, place, thing, a situation, a thought, a substance. Self-rejection, to where you just beating yourself up, where you hate yourself, to where, what's another one? A pleaser, to where you perform and you play the part, you say what people want to hear, you perform for acceptance. What's another one? Escape thinking or working on self. So it's like, I don't want to think about myself or work on myself, so I'm going to be busy. I'm going to just be in activities. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to play on the video games. I'm going to be on social media. I'm going to be doom scrolling forever. Sports, TV, hustling females, you name it. Anything to escape thinking or working on myself. What's another one? Self-pity. Where I'm playing the victim, I isolate, I'm sulking, I'm ignoring everybody, I'm just feeling sorry for myself. Well, that's a behavior that should check engine light that something's going on the inside of us. Secluding, where I withdraw from everyone, stay in my room, I don't want to talk about nothing that's below the surface. What's another one? Pushy. Where I'm just emotionally or verbally, I'm trying to intimidate, I'm throwing tantrums, I'm trying to control people. What's another one? Self-justification. I'm making excuses, I'm blaming everybody for what I'm doing, I'm blaming everybody for my circumstances, my situation. Dishonesty. I'm lying, I'm exaggerating, I'm embellishing stories, or maybe I'm withholding truth. I'm not telling the whole truth. Or I'm moving dirty. Well, that's a behavior we got to start putting in check and catching when we start doing it. Uncooperative, where I'm bucking the system. I'm arguing. That's that right to be right. I'm being stubborn. I need to start picking up on that. Manipulation. I'm pretending. I'm coercing people to get my way. I need to start picking up on that. Because it's sabotaging me. It's sabotaging my relationships. I'm a fixer. A lot of us are fixers. I'm going to try to tell everybody else how to live. I'm going to try and what they need to be doing. Or I might become very critical of them. I'm looking at what everybody else is doing wrong. I'm going to fix that. I'm going to tell you how to fix it. I'm going to tell, another one is I focus on relationships, like relationships. I focus on women, and I depend on women for my emotional well-being, my mental well-being. Another one, performance. I got to be smart. I got to be the funniest. I got to be the my work ethic's got to be harder than everybody else. I got to be the most athletic. I got to, I got to be the leader in the room. And it's like we go into performance mode. Well, that is a behavior coming out of a place that needs to be made well on the inside of us. Another one, selfishness, where you're just inconsiderate. You don't think or care about nobody. Attention seeker, whereas you always got to be the center of attention. It's always some kind of drama, over the top, me. Any conversation, you constantly redirecting it back to yourself. You're a topper. You're going to top every story. You overtalk people when they try to talk. Like, we got to catch that stuff. Stubborn and rebellious, where I'm rejecting and resisting God. I'm rejecting and resisting authority, the people He's put in my life. Maybe we're playing God, controlling others, expecting everybody to do what I want them to do. And I only want help on my terms. Somebody tries to tell us, a way of going about something, we're going to get mad at them. Maybe we're forgetting God, where we just neglect our relationship with God. We neglect doing this, putting into work, doing this kind of stuff, and we just drifting, distracted. We need to catch this stuff. Envy, I'm jealous, I'm hating on people, I'm comparing myself to everybody around me. Paranoid, where I'm just distrustful, I'm suspicious of everybody around me, I'm building a case on everybody. Like, we got to catch this stuff, man, because it's letting us know something's on the inside of me that's off that I need to work on. Greed, I just want more for myself. Take. What's another one? Gluttony. A lot of us, we start food. I'm in the refrigerator. I'm eating snacks. I turn to food as a way just to escape what I'm feeling on the inside. I got to pick up on that. Like, am I always in the refrigerator? Am I always in the snacks? Like, catch that. Pride, where I'm just arrogant. I always got to be right. I'm always projecting on everybody. I'm always going to present myself as better than. I'm looking down on everybody. I got it together. Or this is another one, slandering, where I'm running around gossiping, shoo-shooing. I'm spreading rumors, talking bad on somebody behind their back, trying to turn people against them. Like, I need to catch that stuff, because that's stuff that's in me that needs to change. Something's off in me if I do that kind of stuff. Complacency, where I just get lazy, I'm procrastinating, I don't feel like it, I don't put in the effort. And that can be physically or spiritually. I ain't cleaning my room, I ain't picking up behind myself, and that can be in any area of my life. I just get lazy in it. I need to catch that. What's another one? Lust, to where I'm just like, I'm running to porn. I'm running to, my thinking's always vulgar and nasty and foul. Like, my joking, my talking is foul. My language is foul. My media is foul. My music is foul. And it's just this lustful foulness that I keep showing, that I keep behaving like. I need to catch that and start getting to the roots of that stuff. Hate. I'm always angry. I'm always irritable. I'm always hostile. I'm always confrontational. I need to check that. I need to catch that. Bad attitude. I'm always agitated. I'm impatient. I'm moody. I handle people short, rough. I need to catch that stuff. Negative. Just negative thinking, negative self-talk, negative talk. I'm always doom and gloom. I'm always, it's always bad. I've got to start catching that stuff, because that signs there's something that's deeper on the inside of me that I need to work on. All these behaviors are signs pointing us to an area that God is wanting to work in our life to make us whole and complete and heal us from. Critical. That's the last one I got on here. Always pointing out what I don't like in others, and it may be through serious, comments or statements, or it might be passive aggressive, backhanded jokes, or like backhanded compliments. And I need to check myself on that. And it may be even some that I don't have listed here that you pick up about yourself. And that's the stuff we need to put in here. Page 4. Let's go ahead and flip over. We're trying to get to the end. Goals. And this is questions to ask God and myself and to give an honest answer to. And it's taking the time now, and you're looking at each one of your goals, like on the front page of your binder. And from 0 being that, like, I didn't give no effort or time to this goal today, or 5 to where, like, bro, I was full court press toward this goal in my life today by the way I lived, the way I thought, the way I acted. And it's looking at each one of them areas of your core 4 and then being honest. Let God show you, like, man, I didn't do nothing toward that goal. Or, like, I was hustling for that goal today. I committed today to give myself to that. And being honest with each one of them areas. And then jumping to the middle of that page, escapes. What ways of escape did God present to me in any moments of temptation or conflict? And think about it today. any place of temptation or conflict, God said He will always give us a way of escape. Because He's wanting us to win. He don't want us to lose. He wants us to be blessed. He don't want us to be cursed. He's trying to get us to freedom. He don't want us to be bound. He's wanting us to get to a place of safety, not a place of where like we're suffering loss and pain. So in those times, those moments of temptation and conflict, what ways of escape did God present to you today? You need to think on that. You need to backtrack and think to that moment. If there was anything that happened before that moment, during that moment, or any person that came into that moment, and that opportunity was there for you to get out of that moment. Did you take it? And if not, why didn't you take that opportunity to escape from that temptation or that conflict, to get to a safe place so that you could come back around and handle it correctly? What should you have done? Or what should you do even now? Because it may still be on you, that temptation or that conflict. Here's the next question. Is there something I should discuss with someone at once? Is there something that you need to go talk to somebody right now about when you're doing that awareness sheet? On that particular day of that particular week in your life? Is there anything I feel like hiding or I don't want anyone to notice or know? Like, think on that. Because those are the things that'll kill you. Those are the things that will lead you out and have you sink and drown once more. Those are the things that's going to end up, if you don't let somebody in and you keep hiding it and you don't want anyone to notice it or know about it, those are the things that will cause you the pain that got you here that you want to get out of. Is there anything I feel like just pushing down and not dealing with? Like, these questions right here are some tough questions that you need to really think about, and then do what you need to do out of the answers of that. So let's go to page 5. The last page. I think that's the last page. No, it's not the last page. Page 5. Now talk to God and then listen deep in your heart for what He shows you. And then we pray again. God, search me, know me, test me, and know my thoughts, and see if there's any wicked or hurtful way in me, and help me. Lead me in the way I need to go. And then you need to think, what is God showing me that hurts or threatens my walk with Him, with other people, and it hurts or threatens the man that I'm meant to be? That I must repent and see it differently and ask for forgiveness of and to change. What is that? And I need to talk to God about it. Like, in that moment when I'm working this sheet, I need to talk, Lord, please forgive me of fill in the blank. Lord, please change my heart, God, and my mind in this area. Lord, why am I fill in the blank? Why am I being so angry? Lord, where does this come from? How do I change this? Show me. Help me to see something that I don't see about this to where I can change it. What untruths, what false beliefs have I believed in today? These lies, these deceptions, these wrong perspectives. Help me to see what it is that's hustling me. What false dependence have I trusted in for plan A? What things, what people, what I've trusted in myself? What things that I'm trusting in that are sabotaging me? What substances am I running to try to get something that only you can give me? What do you say concerning this particular thing? Like, give me your truth. Help me to know what that is. What do you want me to know in my heart about you, about myself, about life? And how can I cooperate with you in it? Like, this is your time with God, to where everything that you've worked on since you've been doing this awareness sheet so far, now is when you take it all to God and you're wanting to understand what's going on and how you're to navigate this. And then you should write down every single thing that you feel like God downloads into your heart. You listen. You wait. You read, you reflect back on maybe what he showed you earlier today or earlier this week, things that you read that he's already kind of spoke to you, things you've heard around you that people may have spoken into your life, groups that we have been in, things that were spoken in those things. And it may be those times where those things apply right now and what he's showing you in this awareness sheet. And now page 6. It's the last page of the awareness sheet. You know, I always like to end on a high note because, you know, we go through this awareness sheet to learn like the places that we may still be lacking, the places that, you know, we need a lot to work on, the places that we've been unaware of. But I always like to finish with, you know, like, where am I growing? Like, where did I show things that are virtuous and honorable today? And this last page is, you know, which of these did I possess and exercise today in my life? And it's the virtues of a man. And as you grow, as you start committing to this process and like putting in the work, you're going to see, you know, in the beginning, you may not be able to check any of these off. You may not be able to write on your loose leaf paper any of these things that, because we live so long without them. As a boy, you know, as an immature adolescent in a grown man's body, and now we're engaging in this process to where we're growing as a man in the virtues of a man. And so it's just that time to take and start going through and see, where am I growing now? Where am I starting to walk in manhood and the virtues of what they are? You know, where did I walk in gratefulness today? Well, that's new for, you know, I didn't have gratefulness for the longest time. Well, that's new now. Where did I walk in? Did I walk in humility today? Did I walk in seeking God to daily lead me today? Was I committed to the big picture perspective and my goals and the priorities in a man's life? Did I do that today? Did I love God? Did I show love to man today? Was I joyful today? Man, the first time I checked joyful, I was like, bro, I didn't know what. Man, that was like, man, I actually had joy today. I couldn't even remember whenever I felt like that in my heart. That was big. Did I have a calm peace today or this week, trusting and focused? You know, did I show patience and perseverance and endurance? Did I show kindness, giving, helping others? Did I show goodness? Did I build someone else up today? Did I show faithfulness and loyalty and commitment to others? Was I gentle? Did I show gentleness with someone today? Did I show self-control? Did I walk in discipline today? Well, that's good to know when you start doing. Because we walked without it for so long that I want to start being aware of when I walk in these things, because it inspires me to keep growing, that change is happening in me, that others around me can start seeing these things as well. Not to people please them, but just because it's who I am now. I'm growing in these virtues. Did I walk in honesty, trustworthiness, integrity today as a man? Did I serve someone else today? Was I useful to the people that were around me in my life? Did I trust in God in tough moments, in tough areas today in my life? Did I, instead of trying to strong arm it on my own, did I look to Him and trust and listen and move with Him today? Was I obedient to God in something specific? Did I step out in something He was leading me to do that was out of my comfort zone? Was I courageous to say and do, or to be still and quiet today? Because sometimes, God, I have to have courage to step out and say and do something. Sometimes I have to have the courage to just shut up and keep my mouth shut. But because God is leading me, I have to have the courage to do it. Did I do that today? Was I diligent? Was I a hard worker? Did I do my work with excellence today? Instead of just, you know, halfway doing it, doing the bare minimum, doing just enough? Or did I go out there and do it with an excellent character today, doing my work as unto God? Was I a listener and a learner today? You know, a lot of us, we don't want to listen to nobody and we don't want to learn. We want to tell everybody what we know. But, you know, from when I started finally listening to learn and listen to understand instead of just wanting to tell everybody what I know, did I take ownership of my wrongs when I had any? Was I responsible with the duties of myself as a man, how I should be walking? Was I merciful and forgiving today to someone? Was I considerate of others, their situations? Was I considerate of their feelings? Was I considerate of their space and their boundaries? Well, that's big when I start learning to be considerate of someone, where I don't just think about me. Did I have a positive attitude today? Did I have a purposeful tongue instead of spouting out a bunch of garbage? You know, did I use my words purposefully? Did the words that come out of my mouth build people up? Did the words that come out of my mouth glorify God and encourage someone? Did I seek and receive correction and growth? I used to run from correction. But now I seek it out. How can I be better? Show me how I can be better. I used to think that meant that I wasn't good enough. But I have learned that it is caring and people want to help me get better. It's not to criticize me, but they will actually help me to be better if I'll just open my life to them. How can I get better? Did I do that? Checking that my motives are good and not selfish. Did I check that today? When I'm dealing with somebody, was I putting my motives in check? Like, man, why am I doing this? Am I doing this for, did I take the hooks out of my conversations to where I'm not trying to hook, to where there's not an ulterior motive in why I'm doing something good for someone or having a conversation with someone or showing someone some attention, like that it was really because my motives was right as a man. What's another one? Separating from ungodly stuff. Did I remove myself from conversations, from jokes, from scenarios and environments that was just evil and ungodly? And did I embrace and pursue godly and good things? Like I found my pursuit changed. I'm chasing after environments that I used to would try to get away from, and I'm getting out of environments that I used to want to be in. Did I have a zeal and a passion and a fire for change, for growth, to continue in this process of becoming the man that I was created to be? Did I show care and concern and giving for other people? Did I problem solve instead of complaining and just shutting down and blaming everybody else for where I'm at? Did I take these moments of hardship or discouragement or like momentary failures and said, all right, I'm going to go back to the drawing board and I'm going to problem solve this. And I'm going to invite some people in that can maybe help me problem solve. Not to where I just want them to do it for me. I'm going to put the work in, then I'm going to say, all right, I'm going to solve this. And I have the ability to, with God and the team that He's given me, I have the ability to solve these problems in my life and to overcome them. Did I overcome temptations today that I usually would have just fell into and give myself to? Well, that's big when you start doing that. And the last one, did I hold to healthy boundaries today? You know, whenever I felt false guilt, somebody trying to put on me, that I removed myself. Whenever I felt somebody trying to manipulate me and they was pushing in on them boundaries, I removed myself. When I felt somebody trying to talk crazy to me, did I remove myself? Did I put them boundaries up? And not just boundaries coming in, but did I set good boundaries to where I'm not doing that to people? To where I'm not pushing in on people's boundaries, to where I was aware when someone was feeling uncomfortable or whenever they, which goes back to the beginning, like being aware of how people move around me and how I affect people. And so that is your awareness sheet. And it's big. And I know it's, and that's why I want to just walk it through with you, because the more you get fluent in doing this, the less you will need that. The more your mind will begin to think that way, to where you'll begin to move that way, to where it's muscle memory in your soul as a man, to where that's how you walk. You're aware of your of where you're getting your plan A from the trying to get it from the created that ends in pain and misery, or you're getting it from the Creator who created it for us. Are you putting your life to your goals, or are you not? Are you aware of your surroundings and how you affect the people around you and the reasons why you do what you do? Are you aware of what's going on the inside of you and why that's going on the inside of you? And what are you doing? What behaviors that are reacting out of this inside stuff that are signs pointing that that's the areas God wants to make whole and well if you'll cooperate with Him in it. And then being aware of like where you're growing, how you're starting to change, how you're becoming a man and walking in these virtues. All of this is super important. And I'm telling you that if you'll just give the time and the effort, not get overwhelmed, take it a piece at a time. If you got to pause, hit the pause button. Just don't hit the stop button. Don't tap out and give it up and throw it away and close your binder and say, I ain't doing this no more. Keep doing it. Keep working on it. Do a section a day if you got to on your awareness. I'm going to do one little part on Monday. I'm going to do another little part on Tuesday, another little part on Wednesday, and do one little section a day at a time. It's manageable. You just got to do it. And if you do it, I promise you, if you'll do it for any amount of time, you'll see the worth of it. You'll see the value of it. You'll see the change in your thinking, a change in the way you move, a change in your perspective, your attitudes, the way you behave, and your growth as a man and the one that looks back at you in the mirror. This is the work. This is the rite of passage into true manhood, into being that man that your heart yearns to be. It's in this work. It's in the forging process of God. You got to be aware.